Okay, there actually was a little bit of sunlight, but the clouds just came in and the mist is starting to come up, it seems. Preparing for tomorrow for the potential rain, I guess, huh? And what did I read today? I guess this one, according to this anyways, more stories of potentially in the US blocking companies like DJI because of the concerns of Chinese drones. This one says lawmakers want Biden to reject export licenses for Chinese drone maker DJI. I know the focus has primarily been to ban, for example, Chinese-made drones for government use and officials and all that, but would this technically mean for all consumers as well when you think about it? It says a group of 15 Republican lawmakers on Monday asked the Pentagon to block export licenses for US components for Chinese drone manufacturer DJI, citing national security concerns. The Commerce Department in December 2020 added DJI, the world's largest drone maker, to the government's export control list, accusing it of complicity in reported oppression of China's Uyghur minority and aiding the Chinese military. And this is kind of an interesting part here. It says the lawmakers in a letter to Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said a recent teardown of a DJI drone found US manufactured components, which suggests government approval of export licenses. The letter said the Defense Department should not be recommending approval of export control licenses for US technology that advances DJI's capabilities, they added. America's adversaries are using DJI drones that contain American cutting-edge technology to harm US national security interests. The Pentagon declined to comment, while the Commerce Department, DJI, and the Chinese Embassy in Washington did not immediately respond to requests for comment. DJI said in July, "We have never designed and manufactured products and equipment for military use." Funny enough, I actually thought they stopped using, for example, American parts because of some kind of restrictions when it comes to things like thermal cameras, for example. I know they used to use things like FLIR, but I think they switched for their higher-end enterprise solutions, if that's what you want to say. But another interesting thought is it only DJI they're going after, or every, I guess, manufacturer? Because there's also companies like Autel. It says over 50% of drones sold in the United States are made by DJI, and they are the most popular drones in use by public safety agencies, Republican lawmakers said earlier this year. Last month, a bipartisan group of 11 US lawmakers asked the Biden administration to investigate and potentially sanction another Chinese drone maker, Autel Robotics. So are they next, I guess? I guess ultimately, do you think there's legitimacy in this concern, or do you think it's all political? Just countries trying to ban each other because they don't want them to prosper, per se. And I guess in terms of things like drones, you've been seeing, I guess, more news related to things like drone delivery. So it's kind of interesting seeing this one too. Apparently some people have been actually recording drones being flown around neighborhoods, delivering items from places like Walmart, for example. So you can see this post here, it was on a TikTok account, and as you would imagine, here comes the drone, and as you've seen in other videos, it basically drops the product down through a line. Kind of makes me wonder in terms of liability and stuff like that, do you actually tell the consumer, stay away? If you stand, for example, directly under it, the product hits you, it's not our fault, like that type of thing. Is there any warnings like that? I can imagine people doing dumb stuff too. Imagine while they're dropping it, you have a kid or a dog maybe, or a pet, and they run up and grab the line. I wonder if they actually factored all this stuff in. But either way, you'll be seeing more of these going around neighborhoods. Are people going to be terrified of this now that you see drones everywhere? And I thought this was kind of interesting because locally, apparently there was an earthquake felt in various parts. I was like, what? I didn't feel anything. It says earthquake in BC felt from Vancouver Island to Kelowna. Earthquake Canada says a 4.9 magnitude earthquake was recorded Sunday afternoon, and public reports poured in from hundreds of kilometers away from the event's epicenter. John Cassidy, a seismologist with Natural Resource Canada, says people over a very wide region of British Columbia reported feeling the earthquake, which hit just before 3:30 p.m. Cassidy says the quake was felt by people across northern and central Vancouver Island and as far away as Kelowna, more than 350 kilometers from the quake's epicenter. And as you can imagine, there's posts like these ones telling people how they need to be prepared for earthquakes and all that. I know here anyways, they always warn you the big one is coming and all that. Are people truly prepared for it or not? Again, I didn't feel anything yesterday personally. All right, see you guys later.